Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Neverdot, and today I'm going to let you see me do my comic for this week. So I've already posted the comic. It is the one about the turtle and the thing, but let's watch a fast play, whatever you call it, speed paint. I'll do it in real time, speed painting. So let's get started. Now for this one I'm going to slow it down a little bit, which is only 400% of the normal speed, and we'll just so I can have a bit of a chance to talk to you about what I'm doing in my process. So this one is about the turtles. Each week I have to decide what cast of characters I'm going to be putting in my comic because my Neverdot world spans a lot of different characters. So there's vegetables, and there's dinosaurs, and there's an octopus, and there's the turtles. So comics tend to focus on one of those subsets, either vegetables, dinosaurs, or turtles, and then I go with that. So this week was the turtles because I had an idea that was more family friendly. Again, family friendly generally goes with the turtles because I don't know if the vegetables have family units. So we're going with the turtles. And the turtle here today, the little baby turtle, is always getting into mischief. And usually it's with the dad because the dad is always a catalyst for mischief. And that's what dads do. And, you know, they just tell the kids to do something and they do it. Like quite literally in this case. So I've got to have the turtle running off screen. I'm going to figure out the background later. Oftentimes when I have more complicated background, I'm going to do the lazy thing and just copy paste them across the 3 panels. I don't actually usually do that. That's quite rare. But it lets me put a little bit more effort and make the background a little bit more realistic if I do copy and paste it, because I can rationalize that away as like, well, I'll spend 200% longer on this because I'm going to save, 300% of the time. So in this one, the last panel I have to be careful. Like, do I want to make it too obvious what he's doing or not? I don't know if you got the joke or not. It's actually very difficult to think of a joke every week. It's hard to think of something funny, and oftentimes I don't. So I often look for inspiration on a bunch of different things, Reddit and all my favorite webcomics, and they usually don't help me at all. They just show me that you don't need to be funny to have a comic. So sometimes I just draw something cute or something very interesting and try to get away with that. And hey, it's entertainment either way, right? It is fun just to see what the characters do and respond to in the world. So that's kind of fun. For this, doing the line art now, I always start for the turtles with their base shell circle. And I always start at a point where I'm going to be erasing because I never can connect a circle back onto itself perfectly. So it just saves me time if I can erase that little miss where it doesn't connect itself. So it's always turtle shell body, and then the rim, and then the back, and then the legs, and those are all in different layers because, you want to get different layers, because if you put them on the same layer, then you have to erase them and your eraser wears out. And who uses the eraser on the Wacom pen? Nobody. It takes forever to flip around, and why would you ever do that? It's a cool feature, but I don't use it. It takes too much time. I haven't penned in the background, which maybe should have done, or did I? I wasn't paying attention. I was talking too much about vegetables. So far I haven't messed up either of the turtle or the baby turtle or the dad turtle. They should probably get names. We should have a vote on what their names are. I don't have any names for these guys yet. So I'm putting my little guidelines in because, at this point, yes, now I'm going to do the background. And the background is a, suburban house, so it's got this standard house. This is where you get to see, if you don't have a reference, you get to find out if you can actually remember what something in the room you're currently in looks like. So baseboards, something I often forget, and then casing around the windows and stuff, also something I forget. And does casing go all the way around, or the shelf that the window is sitting on? Is that something that your house has? I don't know. Sometimes I forget curtains, so I'm going to throw a curtain on here. And a little bit later, we are going to find out that I did forget something quite important with the background there. So whatever, I'm not an architect. We got to put in our little outlet, and I kind of got to think about the canon for the outlets too, because the outlet plug design tells me what region they're in, and I need to remember what kind of outlet designs I did in other works. I think I've actually done that wrong, and I have to, whatever, I'm not going to fix it. Maybe they're just compatible everywhere. We got our nice carpet pattern because, I love carpets. Carpets are nice and soft, and they're nice. They have a family feel to them. If you're in a house with a carpet, definitely a family has to live there, I guess. Hardwood floors, a more wealthy family or a single person. So just shading in the background there. I haven't done the outside because I'm going to do that on a separate layer because I like to put the glass on it. And thinking about it now, I'm pretty sure I forgot to do the glass layer. Oh well. So I'm going to put the glass layer, or the outside, as a separate layer behind it. Just do the sky and then just fiddle in some wintry trees. It started snowing here today, about 10 centimeters, which is an incredible amount for this time of year. I wasn't expecting to have to shovel this quickly. So I have trees with no leaves, and I like drying trees a lot. Actually, I hated drying trees before because they never look good. I don't know, they still probably look a little flat, but the trick to drawing a realistic looking 3D tree is to have the branches actually crossing over each other, because you're inclined not to do that. Because you're not thinking that way. You're thinking, I got to make them branch, but then you're forgetting the 3D and it's coming at you and it's going over itself. So I'm just shading the carpet because the further away you go from the viewer, the more evil the carpet gets. That's why it's dark and black. Wait, no, that's not right. No, never mind. Scratch that. Now I'm just going to copy paste the background. Please don't judge me for this. I also, you can see it here, but I didn't notice it at the time. I forgot to put the background, the outside world, into the group when I grouped it and moved it. So I'm just realizing now, whoops, oh, this is embarrassing, and this is going in the video. So whatever, I'm just going to have to copy, paste it, move it, drag it, shift, drag, keep it aligned. Not going to get it perfect. That's going to bother me. My OCD is going to kick in. The little bush, I have to align perfectly with that edge. Now I've got my turtles and I can start painting them. It's going to be hard to do the fill. The bucket fill in Krita works really well if you don't have background behind there. So I'm going to put a layer in to give me that nice fill so it's easy to do. So I can just jump around. And what you're seeing there is the original comic for the all of Never Dot, actually. That's the very first comic I did. Doesn't even have shading because I thought that would take too much time. I said that before. But that's where all my original colors for the turtles are from. So I just don't have an original color for their shell stripes, which I didn't want to do them in black because it's too harsh. And I also don't have an original color for their mouths because I decided later on that the interior of the mouths probably not the same color as their exterior skin. I might be wrong about that. I haven't opened up a turtle's mouth to inspect it. But I've since gone to a reddy brown instead of a dark green, I think. Because they're not vegetables. Vegetables are the same color on the inside. Because vegetables work a little bit different. Secrets about my world in Never Dot. The vegetables sort of form their own mouths, and they're sort of just pockets. They don't really go anywhere. They don't have a digestive tract as such. They're kind of just digesting stuff. Should they choose to put food in their mouth, they don't need to actually eat in that way. They can stand on stuff and through their little roots, if they ever have roots, absorb stuff, as plants do. And they can photosynthesize, so really just standing outside is enough to fill them up. The octopus does need to eat, though. Although his mouth is not where it should be. He should have a beak, technically. Baby turtle here is looking very happy and excited, and you gotta pose a little. He doesn't have fingers and toes. Turtles probably do. Yeah, they do. I don't know if that's going to become a problem. This is one of those things in comic license that I can be like, they're going to have fingers if I need them to have fingers, and they're going to have stubs if the rest of the time, because stubs looks a little bit more cute. Although I dislike comics that put stubs on characters that I think should have fingers and toes. It bothers me, especially on humans. Well, it depends on how realistic the whole thing is. Like Exo Comics has stubby arms, and that's cute, and I like that. But there's another one that has just massive stubs for all their limbs, and I don't understand why they're doing it, and I don't like it. But for a lot of characters, it works really well. So here we have the turtle just peeking out. Look at what I did, Dad. He did something terrible, and we're hoping the audience gets it. I don't know. Did you get the comic? I was very close to doing just something interesting with Logan the potato, but I went down and, thought of this. Misunderstandings with babies. Always room for excitement and happiness and fun. I think the family comics do a little bit better with the humor department. Pulling stuff out of nowhere with vegetables and a little bit the dinosaurs. Then the dinosaurs I actually have a bit more fun with because it's easier to make them look stupid and goofy. Even though they're supposed to be super professional and, cool. But you know, sometimes they do stupid stuff. Now, doing this ow thing, well, anyways, the bubbles I do in bright red so that I can see where they actually are. I'm going to just fill it in later. I also use a tool in Krita so that I can fill just for that layer. Now this pop out POW thing, I absolutely hate. It looks terrible. Junk it. Do this way. I need a more sharp, nice looking, more professional looking. Yeah, the first time looked terrible, and I'm sharpening it up, and I'm learning on the fly how to do some of these things. I don't usually do these kind of comic pop out bubble things. And then I color the bubbles to reference the characters. I don't stick with a consistent color. I do try to color them like the character in question, but sometimes I need contrast with the background, so I can't use blue because the window is blue. I gotta use a different blue. There we go. So now you know who's talking. So that's the comic for this week, and I hope you enjoyed watching it. I hope you enjoyed my process, and I really like doing the turtle comics. The turtle comics are quite nice. It's nice to have a little family experience, but when we do a comic on the vegetables, I will tell you about the vegetable lore. Turtle lore is just normal happy family life. The vegetables, comics, octopus, and dinosaurs have a bit more weirdness to them. So thank you for joining me for this episode of Let's Draw. I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for popping in to learn about how I draw my comic and just getting some behind the scenes insights into my thinking and how I develop the characters and what I really intend for the comic. So thank you for accompanying me on this journey, and I hope to come back to this. See you next time.